Now let's add to the back massage. So we're going to get into our nice warrior. We can do our sacrum rock. And then place your soft fist on either side of the sacrum. Side to side movements first. More repetition and then eventually longer pauses. Either one side, then the other, or with both fists at the same time. We're going to circle into each spot and then gradually work our way into each spot. You can combine soft fists and palming. And those are things that we did on both sides of the back. Another thing we can do for both sides of the back is what I call the twisting palm. Okay, so you can cut the spine. So you've got your fingers on one side of the spine and your palm on the other. And the way you decide which hand is on top and which hand is on the bottom is kind of up to you, but I always like to have my top hand be the same hand as my warrior leg. So my warrior leg can glue into that hand, and then what I do is a little twist. Okay, so the bottom hand cuts the spine, the top hand goes on top. I put my warrior leg into that arm, and then I twist over her spine. So twisting movement with your warrior. You're not putting any pressure on the spine, just on either side. So therefore, when I come down, again, and go up, you just want to make sure that your warrior leg is helping. If you want, so right now I'm twisting in a counterclockwise way. This warrior leg is up. If you wanted to twist clockwise and go the other way, you would switch your warrior. Switch your hands. Do it the other way. Coming around to one side. We did. So we did this. We did our sacrum rock, and then what we call kneading the dough. Pulling and pushing around the lower back, the lowest part of the back. So at hip level. And then moving up the back, again, we can circle our way in everywhere, push those muscles away from the spine. Some of the other things that I really love to do, I love to use my rolling pin here. So for me, typically this is how I would set up. If I want to get, and like I said, there's just so many great spots right here on the back of the shoulder and the upper back here, in that space between the spine and the scapula. And if I want to get in there and take my time, rather than use my thumb too much, which I can do with my palm over thumb, I like to use my side of my elbow and occasionally the point of my elbow. Is this okay? So I'll play with my angles. Sometimes my arm might be in this direction, and then there might be another spot right next to it, so I'll just move it like that. And work essentially that same area, slightly different angle, finds a whole new place. There's another angle. Maybe elbowing in this way. Also, once you've found a spot, you can just kind of sink in. This is another great time to stretch. I like the stretch. You can always use it there on the side of the body. So this is how we can use our rolling pin to massage across the spine. Sometimes you might feel like You don't want to change sides, so you can do things on the side that's close to you as well. You sit either in a diamond, either in a diamond, it depends on the size relationship, or in a pigeon, so a little lower if you were bigger. I'm going to sit in a diamond here. And if you want to work the side close to you, you can place your forearm parallel to the spine and roll that towards you. So here it's absolutely imperative to use the palm over forearm method, because you're basically using that top hand to pull your forearm towards you, making that space, moving the muscles still away from the spine. And then you can also use your elbow and sink into spots along the back. So it's nice to cup your elbow and feel where it's going. Also, sometimes the muscles are really tense or really pointed, so you don't want your elbow slipping all over the place. So this really kind of helps direct things. Right, so we can massage that whole side of the back that's closer to us that way. Then we have the scapula. So you need to have the shoulder elevated. So if they're already on a bolster, perfect. Got them right where you want them. And then you put their arm on their back as far across the back as it'll go. And that elevates the scapula. Then sit behind it. You tuck your fingers in and pull. When you're higher up the scapula, so closer to the shoulder, typically you can't get as far under. So I always like to start there and then work my way down. Scapula. And then we can also do scapula. No, not if you understand what I'm saying. Right. So you come around and you take your thumbs now and you push. So this one is actually pushing, I find, is more effective for both people who have really open scapulas to get deeper, but also when people have really tight and closed scapulas, this is where you can get in there a little easier. So if you were to just choose one, you might just choose the pushing. Okay. And of course, we can do all of that on the other side as well. I'm going to leave that for now. You can massage the back a little more. If you're going to massage the shoulders, you're going to want to bring the arms down a little bit to squeeze the shoulders. And you can also add in chopping, which for me would look something like this. Again, single-handed chopping close to the spine. More soft fists as I move all around the shoulders. I love to chop down the legs, even the feet. If you had a car wash? I know lots of sweet. Yeah. Throwing it off.
I know, right? That's right.
There we go. All right. Ready to practice it up? Thank you.